I hate to admit it, but I can't tell lies. Like, this game against Chelsea is a big one. And it shouldn't be. I mean, it shouldn't be in most other contexts. You know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't be looking at a start of the season where we've got Arsenal at home, City away, and Chelsea at home and be like, this is make or break for the manager. And in some instances, I think there's some section of the fans that will hold on to that and say, he's still got time, like he's still trying to embed things now that he's had a full summer under his belt. But I think last season was so bad that I can empathize with the fans that are needing to see something right away and have little patience, because we as the fan base deserve to see something. And I think we've seen this season already in the 4 or 5 games in all competitions that there is few things that Ruben Amorim needs to do better. And that's just a fact. He cannot keep hiding behind this thing of to suffer. We have to do this. You've told us good times are coming. I expect a lot better than what I've seen. That's just my opinion. But Chelsea is an interesting one because Chelsea is a bit of an enigmatic football club. You don't know who you're going to play against, I should say, but you do know what you're going to get, because you do get like a similar style of play. You get a similar system. You get a similar intensity no matter who's playing on the pitch, and you have no idea who you're going to be up against. So these 1v1 battles is always a difficult thing. So weirdly, playing a system against them would actually probably put us in better stead. And the previous games that we've had, I mean, they have not got the greatest record at Old Trafford, but I always don't like going up against Chelsea. I just never have. I grew up in the Mourinho era, so I'm still scarred by that, frankly. But there are a couple of tweaks that I think Ruben Amorim should be making, given the start of the season that he's had, and I'm just going to share a few of them with you. So here are 3 ways in which Ruben Amorim can beat Chelsea, in my opinion. If you disagree, get in the comments, but make sure you subscribe, because we are here building the biggest and best and most thriving, healthy Manchester United community in the world. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure you subscribe and you drop a like on the video and get into the comments, because I do see and respond to every single one. Ruben Amorim is a tactical periodization manager. If you don't know what that means, it's basically that they analyze those types of managers like Jose Mourinho, Andre Villas-Boas, and him. They analyze the opposition almost just as much as they analyze their own team, and they try and make little tweaks based on them, which is why we see so many changes in the squad. But I want to start this video by a little bit of an aside to the points that I'm making, that I don't want to hear any of the defeatist things that I've heard from Ruben Amorim. If things do go south, I don't want to hear, you change the philosophy or you change the man. I don't want you to put that out into the universe. If you want to stay here, fight for your place. And I don't want to also hear, I'm suffering more than the fans, which he said after the City game. No, you're not. Getting paid hundreds of thousands of pounds, right? And I know your ego's taking a battering, your reputation's taking a bit of a battering, but you're earning millions, right? So don't chat to me about that. Like, we are suffering more than you. The working class people that go to Manchester United every single week, and the people like me who aren't in Manchester, oh, great Manc accent and all that, but they fall in love with the football club and they spend every last penny they can to go to as many games as they can. We're suffering more than you. So, I'm sorry, I just had to get that off my chest. But the first thing with Ruben Amorim is, please, the midfield 2. If you have to insist on playing the midfield 2, get it right. Please. For the love of God, get it right. The balance in the midfield 2 has been off since the beginning of the season, and he seems to continue persisting with the same prominent issues within it. Why is Bruno playing in one of the 2 positions? I don't understand it. And that Man City game really worried me, because that was an opportunity to show that Bruno can just play in one of the advanced positions. So he can run about all he wants up there, and he can dictate things as much as he wants. If he loses the ball up there, not a problem. If he vacates his position up there, not a problem, because you got people to back him. But instead, you do stick him in that midfield 2, and you make the job of the person next to him nigh on impossible. Everyone wants to go in on Manu Ugarte, and I'll admit he's not been great this season. Hasn't been great really since the back end of last season. But I think there is more to his game than what we're seeing. And you see in almost every single system in the world, when you have a player like that, you dovetail him with the right sort of personality. Chelsea is a really good example. Caicedo, he's there to do the running. He's there to track back. He's a box-to-box player. And then you got Enzo, and then you got Caicedo, who can kind of work off of each other, because Enzo's going to be the one to go forward and Caicedo is going to be the one to get the ball for him. And you understand exactly where they're going to be on the pitch. Like, if Enzo does go forward, it's almost in the knowledge that Caicedo is right next to him. But Bruno isn't that type of player, so you know that. And it doesn't mean that Bruno has to shift who he is at the age of 31. Put him in his best position. Let him be the natural, creative, and sometimes goal-scoring machine that he can be. Let him do that. Chelsea obviously do it with Cole Palmer regularly, so why not let Bruno Fernandes do that? And we saw when he came on in the derby as one of our brightest players, but I don't know what's happening between the manager and Kobbie Mainoo, but every other manager in the world makes Kobbie Mainoo work. And Kobbie, I'm not saying that he has this divine right to get the #1 spot in the midfield, but he absolutely has a right to play over the players that are starting ahead of him. A Kobbie and Casemiro with a Bruno and a Mbeumo, fine. If Cunha's back, then maybe let him and Bruno switch out at some point. So you got some real attacking impetus at a different point in the game. You're probably going to start Bruno. Cunha's just coming back from injury. Start Bruno up there, bring Cunha on. Pretty simple, in my opinion. And we need to stop that Caicedo and Enzo partnership, because if we let that run the middle of the park, then we're screwed. At least if you have a Kobbie who has definitely been getting fitter, been getting stronger, he's more dynamic, he's more athletic, put that in with an Ugarte or with a Casemiro who can just do those simple things and then aren't exposed in the way that they would be if Bruno was next to them, then all of a sudden we look like a much more solid defensive unit, and that needs to happen. The second point kind of goes in with what I was just saying there, but I want to see it right across the pitch. Empower your best players to do their best job. So I don't want to be seeing square pegs and round holes. I don't want to see any of that. Bruno, like I say, needs to be going into the cam role. But with Patrick Dorgu, for example, who is, to be fair to him, getting in the right position a lot of the time, but his crossing leaves a lot to be desired. So why not let him be slightly more reserved and then let him go with a centre attacking midfielder that has a crossing ability and that can take the onus away from him? Or why are we consistently, like I say in the midfield too, playing the run type of partnerships? Why do we put Ahmad at the cam role when he showed in the Europa League final and he showed in games last season that he doesn't like it there? He likes the right wing back role where he's not even having to do that much defensively because you have a back three. For the love of God, you have a back three that is able to make up for that. And he's usually paired with a good one as well. I see Lenny Yoro down there, so that side is generally okay. So why not just let him play in the right wing back role and do it properly? Him and Mbeumo, as soon as he interchanged, they look menacing. Mbeumo could have scored a really good goal against City. It's 2-1, the game changes. Do that earlier. Ahmad doesn't work in the cam. You might think, just simply thinking, he's a good attacking player, playing further up the pitch, things will work. No. Literally, square peg, round hole. Make him play in that right wing back position because he does really well there. He likes space. Right wing back role gives him space. So let him do that and have more options in attack. And when we're talking about goalkeepers, I disagreed with everyone who thought that Seny Lammens shouldn't have started the derby. And the reason I say that is not because I think he's going to be getting a clean sheet, that he's going to be smashing it, he's going to be doing all this. He could do that. I just know that he's going to give us more than what Bayende can. And you want to say throw a lion into the lions, then you're at Manchester United now. That's what you're here to do. We played David De Gea in his first game in the Manchester derby, and he didn't do that well. Only conceded one bad goal, but did well for the rest of the game, and he grew and he learned. That's what we need to get back to. That's the type of football, and that's the type of mantra we need to get back to. No passengers. No scaredy cats. No frightened little boys who aren't ready to play for Manchester United. If you're here, you're ready to go to battle, you're ready to do all of this stuff, make it happen. So Seny Lammens for me, you bought him for like £18 million. We tracked him all summer. Play him. Simple as that. There's no way that he is going to be any worse than Bayende. So the sky is the limit in terms of how much better that he can be. And I think you get him into that game, and it's sink or swim at Manchester United. We know this. But if he makes his first save and everyone looks like, okay, I know what we're working with now, then we'll move forward. And now, after a week of preparation, I expect him to play. And the final thing, please, Ruben, for the love of God, for the love of all that is holy in this world, take more risks. Please take more risks. Why am I seeing a manager? I don't care who you are. Why am I seeing any manager when you're chasing the game, you're bringing on a centre-back? Gary Neville says it all the time. And you know what? The boy says a lot of stuff. I agree with him on this, though. Why, when you need stability at the back and you need to change something up front, are you changing your back three constantly? You're changing your back five constantly. Why are you doing that? It's so stupid. Like, Ruben, I'm sorry. I know you're the manager. You obviously see these players week in, week out. And that's why we're trying to back you. We're trying. But slowly but surely, we are losing the identity of Manchester United. And this isn't the thing about, like, results are one thing. We need better results. You've given us horrible results. You and this group of players have given us terrible results. But to be fair, what I've seen and what we know went on in the background of Man United over those 6 months, I think another manager could have got us higher, but I think also another manager may have let us persist with the rot a lot longer than what Ruben did in the summer transfer window. So fine, you take one and you remove the other. But Manchester United is all about risk. It's all about risk. Sir Alex Ferguson, the reason why I bring him up is not to say play like him or do this. He said something that has resonated with me since the moment I heard it. And it was Manchester United and football is all about risk. What's the point of a game that is when it's 2-1 or you're chasing it's 2-all of throwing in another defender and just setting up shop? What's the point? Get an attacker up there, take the risk and go for it. I guarantee, let's say it's 2-all, right? Let's say it's 2-all Chelsea Man United and then we bring on an attacker and it doesn't work. Let's say they even go and get a counter-attack and they score. That's the risk. At least we know you're taking a risk. And this manager, you know what? Whatever about his system and all that, I don't like the system. I get that it can work. I don't think he's got the players right now to make it work. I think he's got more of the players to make it work than I think we're giving any of them credit for, because I don't think he's playing the right people in the right position, and I do think he's hemorrhaging himself with the midfield pairing. He's hemorrhaging himself with the decisions he's making, and I'm yet to see him make some brilliant substitutions at half time or in the middle of the game, which changes everything. So the onus is very much on him. Obviously, it's the players, but very much on him as well. If the system is set up right and we get a situation against Chelsea where the players are set up right and we understand what the thought process is, the balance is there, we can see it, and they're not performing, we'll go on them. So stop taking the onus away from them and platform them to actually excel within this system that you want. Because Ruben, if you watch him, it's not about the system. It's the way you're implementing it. Like, it's not even, like, we talk about VAR all the time. It's not VAR that's the problem. It's the way that you're implementing it. If you just play the right people in the right position, it might work and it will give us something. But please take more risks. Like, listen, I grew up in the Barclays Mint era, so I remember the times when, like, Blackburn would throw on Chris Samba, centre-back up top. I remember Man City threw on David James up top. Do you remember that? To cause a bit of chaos. You can have that. I actually quite like the chaos factor in football, like, especially at the end of the game. Like, we had Ten Hag that gave us the chaos factor throughout the whole game. That ain't right. But at the end of the game, fine, because that is what football is all about. So do that. And if we win or lose by that same metric, I do not care, because you're taking a risk and you're trying to do something. But you're bringing on Harry Maguire. If he's that good, start him. Do you know what I mean? And this is no slight on Harry Maguire. I think he's done really well. And yes, he has had some clutch moments every now and again, which is cool to see. But we have attacking players. Make them work. I back the manager until he's not our manager anymore. That's just kind of how I am. That's the way I think it needs to be. And I want... This is the thing. I like Ruben. I want him to be successful. It's time for him to show us more now. I can't be watching a system that is terrible to watch and that doesn't platform the players to achieve the best out of their potential and their current ability. And I cannot, as Manchester United, just sit back and wait for things to happen and be scared of the opponent. Take the game to them. Because like I say, even if we do that and we see semblances of the Man United DNA and we lose the game, fine. But we're on we can see what you're trying to do and we see that you get it. Right now, there's not enough of it. And the balance is really tipping the other way, because we've got Chelsea, then we've got Sunderland and Brentford. And if I'm talking after a loss with Chelsea, it all depends on how you lose. That was same for the Man City game. We lost in a horrible way against City. If we win, it depends on how you win. If you draw, it depends on how you draw. So we need to start seeing a lot of things from him. But if we lose against Chelsea, I mean, right now, this is our worst start to a Premier League season since the Second World War. And I want to be fair, because like I said, we've had Arsenal and a Man City in that time. So it's not like if he won both of those games, we'd be saying we're winning the league. So, you know, you have to find some semblance of calm in the storm. But then we've got Brentford. Then we've got Sunderland. You give us 7 points out of these next 3 games, we're good. 6 points, okay. Anything less than that, boy. And that is with an international break coming up. So let me know what you think. I mean, those are the 3 things that I think Ruben Amorim can do to really set us up well against Chelsea. What do you want to see happen? And I remember the last video I did, everyone wanted to just say, when I say what change do you want? Or change the manager, change this. You're not helping, all right? Actual pragmatic changes. What do you want to see in the next game? Who do you want to start? I'll be very clear. I'll make a video on that as well, like a short, just to let you know who I want to start as we get more team news of who's available, who's fit. But let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. And we are so close to 10K. So make sure you subscribe, like up the video. And just let's just hope we get something against Chelsea. Yeah, I need it.